What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE has been accused of spreading false information. Is this Uncle Howdy's debut location? Was MJF WWE-Bound? Massive plans for a Raw superstar? Asuka injury update, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. As always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good is number 1, MJF Promo 101. Last night's promo from MJF was a masterclass in microphone mastery, as the recently returned wrestler covered all the necessary bases. MJF put himself over in an entertaining and captivating way, while also taking time to trash talk some of AEW's top stars, setting the table for future programs and whetting the fans' appetite. When Rush decided to call out the salt of the earth, MJF skillfully insulted Rush, but also put him over, referring not only to Rush's accolades, but recalling how he paid him to take out Bryan Danielson. The former AEW World Champion walked this delicate line by praising Rush while pointing out that he is in a class all by himself. MJF's promo wasn't just about opening Dynamite, as it resonated throughout the night with wrestlers responding to his taunts. Number 2, Bryan Danielson's last chance is his best chance. MJF wasn't the only wrestler who cut a memorable promo. Bryan Danielson played up his recent setbacks, primarily losing the Anarchy and Arena match, but claiming he's going out in a blaze of glory as he intends to win the Owen Hart Cup and use the accompanying title shot to become world champion at All In. This was a fantastic means of playing off Danielson's imminent semi-retirement and what could be his last chance to win the AEW World Championship. Number 3, solid main event. AEW featured the usual array of excellent matches, and like any well-booked show, it ended with a worthy main event. Roderick Strong isn't a main eventer, but he's a top-level worker, and he earned his match against Swerve Strickland last night, which made this seem like a main event rather than a throwaway bout. Number 4, women's division continues to show progress. A change doesn't happen overnight, and AEW's women's division still has a long way to go. Nonetheless, last night's show continued the gradual progress AEW has made over the last few weeks. Once again, fans saw a good match of Saraya vs Maria May that furthered an upcoming match of Toni Storm vs Mina Shirakawa, and reminded fans that the Outcasts are still heels. Dynamite found the right amount of interviews to keep things going and wisely avoided booking any matches involving talent who aren't ready for AEW's top show. Number 5, Chris Jericho Learning Tree. How does Jericho keep reinventing himself? Chris Jericho has done it again, reinventing himself as the learning tree, an obnoxiously positive person who offers unsolicited advice on everything from the mundane of how to scoop food and catering to helpful hints like career advice. It's too early to tell how much shelf life this gimmick will have, but so far it's looking good. And EVPs are everywhere. Nicholas and Matthew Jackson's roles as evil authority figures is going well because they found a way to make their presence felt without hogging television time. The Bucks' less is more policy had them getting on the wrong side of the Acclaim, cutting deals with the patriarchy, including giving them limited edition sneakers, and generally angering fans when they want to see someone punch them in the face rather than changing the channel. That was a good. What about the bad? Is number 1, Orange Cassidy gets walloped by Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander's heel turn is a work in progress, but having a floor Orange Cassidy with a punch was bad for her and the OC. The segment did nothing for Statlander, who at this point is being carried by Stockley Hathaway, and made Cassidy look like a punk. While Cassidy isn't the size of Kill Switch, he's no Marco Stunt either. And number 2, Dynamite needs to get rid of dead weight. Dynamite is AEW's flagship show, which means it needs to get rid of Rampage level stars like premier athletes and spend every moment promoting upper card and main event level programs if it wants to build an audience. There are spots for mid-carders, but these should be either as enhancement talent or in programs designed to elevate them. Now, there was nothing downright ugly last night. Like last week, Dynamite seemed to be a show that was made of interlocking parts, as segments in one part played out in others. This was also an entertaining show which hopefully will keep fans around and create a buzz to bring in lapsed fans and new fans. What did you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, our first story looks at WWE has been accused of spreading false information. Atop of today's news is a report suggesting WWE may have spread misinformation about AEW's Collisions ratings for its first June show. Ringside News recently reported, initially reported by Alfred Konua, the viewership for AEW Collision was purportedly mere 122,000. However, it later emerged that the actual viewership stood at a significantly higher 378,000. Meltzer weighed in on this during an episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio, saying this was a number supplied by WWE, and for those who think like WWE is not concerned about AEW, it's a one-sided thing. AEW is in a war with WWE. It's a pro wrestling war, okay? These pro wrestling wars are insidious, they are brutal, they are both in a public relations war where one side is far more effective as far as getting news out there and controlling the media because they're afraid of not having access or whatever they're afraid of. WWE, obviously, whenever AEW has a badly rated show, WWE makes sure that the fast nationals get out. Do you think WWE really is behind this misinformation? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Uncle Howdy debut location. Now, a new clue concerning Uncle Howdy, and more importantly his tentative return to the WWE, is the talk of the IWC. Ex-user SlamX tweeted their take on the recent clue. The coordinates hidden in the tags in the new Uncle Howdy image led to Corpus Christi, the same place where Raw is being held on June 17th. Does this mean that Howdy will return to the Raw after Clash at the Castle, or is this just another clue that fans should keep their eyes open for? Are you guys invested in this Uncle Howdy return? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up was MJF WWE-Bound. Was Maxwell Jacob Friedman serious about jumping to WWE once his AEW deal expired? MJF repeatedly threatened to head to the WWE during promos, making fans believe he could join Cody Rhodes. While MJF has confirmed he's all elite, he recently told Sports Illustrated that there was consideration about jumping to WWE. Of course there was. Am I going to get into the weeds? No. At this point in time, this move, staying with AEW, made the most sense for me. I'm making a ton of money. As far as when the contract ends, that's nobody's business but my own. The MJF interview is worth checking out as MJF discusses many topics, including his constant evolution, how he views himself in AEW, and of course, his overall greatness. Next up, major push for Raw Superstar. Now it's time for a follow-up on a recent story concerning Bron and how the WWE management is pleased with his work. It appears that they are more than pleased as WrestleVotes is reporting, I'm told WWE has considerably altered its creative plans for Bron Breakker. The second-generation superstar has impressed many higher-ups in his short stint on Raw. A source states Breakker is slated to be a major focus heading into the Netflix era. With his age, speed, look, and pedigree, this rare combination of talents isn't to be overlooked, said the source. Do you think that this could be many title opportunities for Bron Breakker? Could he be WWE Champion one day? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Seth Rollins back in the gym. But when is Seth Rollins returning from his recent knee injury? While that question remains unanswered, the Visionary recently shared a video on his Instagram showing himself training in the gym, a great sign for Seth. Next up, Brooks Jensen headed to TNA. Speaking of jumping ship, is disgruntled NXT superstar Brooks Jensen contemplating a trip to TNA Wrestling? He recently tweeted, Shawn Michaels, NXT, WWE, you can throw me out of the building, you can shut down my Twitter, but one way or another, I'm gonna have my voice heard. You'll see. While this is obviously a work shoot, it has some fans thinking that the rumored TNA NXT collaboration will indeed involve more wrestlers than Jordynne Grace. Next up, Asuka injury update. Did Asuka undergo knee surgery? Well, fans are asking this after the Empress of Tomorrow tweeted a photo of her knee in a brace along with this message. Fans have been concerned about Asuka's health ever since the 15th March SmackDown, where she appeared to be limping. Figure 4 Online's Ian Carey discussed how Asuka took some time off from house shows following the weekend, as well as a YouTube message she shared in May. After the backlash of my European tour, I had to take a break to treat my knee that had been hurting for a while. My partners Kyrie and Dakota helped me a lot during this tour as I could not move at my best. I'm very grateful for both of them, and we send our best wishes to Asuka for a full recovery. And finally, Andrade squashes Karl Anderson in Speed Match. And last but not least, has Karl Anderson joined the ranks of 2024 version of the Attitude Era's Job Squad? It certainly looked that way after Andrade dispatched him in what seemed to be a blink of an eye on WWE Speed Show. Andrade's win already has fans looking forward to him wrestling Ricochet, however some fans aren't happy with the Speed format because they believe fast wins diminish the loser's star power. On the other hand, Speed Sports has argued the show gives underutilized talents a venue to get some, well, television time, that being on X only, regardless of whether it's brief. What do you guys think of WWE's Speed program? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.